And our coverage of the race for North Carolina governor continues here on Fox Carolina News. Now we want to bring in Chrelle Booker, Democratic candidate now for North Carolina. So, Ms. Booker, thank you so much for joining us. I think the initial question is, you have a lot of time in Tryon, the mayor pro tem there. You work in Greenville. So why run for governor right now for North Carolina?
Well, like you said, I am the mayor pro tem for Tryon, North Carolina. And for people who don't know where that is, it's close to Asheville, and it is the birthplace of Miss Nina Simone. So I've spent the last few years with on the national level with the National League of Cities, and I have chaired some committees. I've been on their board of, on their national board. I up until November of last year was the president of Women in Municipal Government, and of course this year the immediate past president. So I've spent some time traveling around the United States, and I've gained some knowledge and some wisdom on how our towns and cities are operating during this time in our lives. And also, I read a little blurb from the Center for American Women and Politics, and part of it says that has been only 49 women governors, and of those 49, there's only been 34 who were elected on their own right the first time that they ran for office. So being an encourager for women to run for elected office, I feel like I must lead by example. So I am running for governor on those issues, but my platform is people, politics. I'm sorry, I said people in politics, people, partnerships, and unlimited possibilities. And so with the wisdom I've gained around the country, I think that I could help North Carolina with some of the issues that we are facing. And just to clarify, the National League of Cities, they represent 200 million people, 49 states, 19,000 city, towns, and villages, pretty much all of America. So I've gained quite a bit of knowledge there as far as to what I think I could give to North Carolina as far as help.
You had mentioned you wanted to help the state with some of its issues. So day one as governor, what are some of those issues that you hope to help with?
Well, I feel like we need to take care of our basic needs. Of course, you know that around the country, we're having housing or affordable housing issues. We definitely have to have jobs for people to be able to afford these houses. Of course, we are looking at issues of making sure that the people can also afford to eat properly. So it's basic needs, water, air, just basic needs, just trying to make sure that people can operate within their bodies to be able to live here in North Carolina. Those are some of my main issues, to make sure that we're sheltered, fed properly, air and water is pure, or as pure as it can be, and that we have jobs that we can kind of live here and have other people to come right along with us here.
North Carolina is an interesting state. You have a Democratic governor, supermajority for Republicans, and the former President Donald Trump has won at the past two elections. So there's a lot of bipartisanship that has to happen. So how, as a Democrat, do you plan to appeal to the Republicans, especially to the far right, those supporters for the former President Donald Trump?
Well, I feel like if you treat everybody with respect, that sooner or later people will warm up to you. I expect to introduce myself to each and every one that's in the General Assembly. I have spent my life, even though I'm on the local level, it is nonpartisan, traveling around the United States with the national organization. It's partisan. It's nonpartisan. So I do have that background, and where I have not had any issues talking to people across the board or across the racial divide or any of that. So I think that as governor, I wouldn't have too much of an issue. And the issues that I would have with particular people, I think that as mature adults, that we could come together, talk those out, and do what's best for the people and not just ourselves.
We've spoken with some Republican candidates for governor there in North Carolina. A lot of the issues that voters talk about, especially on the national stage, immigration, the economy. So I want to ask you about immigration here. There are some candidates on the Republican side, they have said that they will send resources to Texas to help with the southern border, saying that every state in the U.S. is now a border state. What are your plans when it comes to immigration, especially the influx of undocumented immigrants coming in through the southern border?
As far as immigration, I think that if it is done through the proper steps that it is designed to be done, that is what we look for in America. We look for other people to come and be a part of our society. But I do believe that it should be done with the process that we have in place. And it's kind of odd to me that we would have an influx. And just using myself as an example, I personally don't think that I could go to another country where I don't speak the language. I don't know how to operate in their environment per se without going through the proper channels. So, and the other question that you said was about the economy.
Yes.
Did I miss that? Well, sometimes we have to do within our own families what we can as far as, doing what's best for us. Sometimes we have to let go of the things that are not necessary for that particular time. And then sometimes, we can splurge. But when it's a lot of inflation and the economy is not well, we can't afford to, do the splurge things or do the things outside of what would make our pocketbooks lessen. But I also think that connecting with your neighbors, your communities, and each one helping one, like our grandparents did, I think that too alleviates some of the stress on us in a economy that's not well for us individually.
I think lastly here, anyone who may be watching this and listening to this, wondering why should they vote for you? So what is your pitch to them on why you're the candidate to vote for?
Well, I think that, like I said, I plan to operate under a leadership of respect. I plan to, be for everybody. I think that the person that gets elected, not just as a governorship or the people that are elected, should be for all the people of North Carolina, not just for some or particular sects of people. I think that if you treat everybody as if they are human and with respect, I think that broadens my ability to not only work across the board, but to let people know that they will feel comfortable and they will be protected under my leadership. So I think that as governor, that is what you're supposed to do: make people feel like they are at least protected and comfortable under your role, under your leadership.
Chrelle Booker, candidate for North Carolina governor. Ms. Booker, thank you so much.
Thank you.